Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Great 78 series, in which we take a deep dive into each tarot card to give you a greater understanding and a deeper meaning of each card. I'm Zelda Kelly. I'm glad to bring this to you, and let's get started. Today we have the Temperance card. The key number on this is Roman numerics. This is the number 14. The color associated with this card is blue. The Hebrew letter is Samek, or it is spelled Samekh. The meaning of this card is prop, P-R-O-P, as in prop, like prop something up, prop it, a lean on type thing. The letter number associated with this is 60. The alchemy is fire, which means it is a fire sign, meaning also the astrological sign, the zodiac sign associated this is Sagittarius. For all you Sagittarians out there, I love you, Sagittarius. And the musical note is G sharp. G, this harmony, this beautiful G sharp. Now the other attributions for this is very interesting. A desire or an appetite, meaning you just have that deep down burning goal desire within you to do something, go forward. The support, assistance, its improvement, refinement, purification, verification, and this last one of wrath, as in the wrath of God. And yes, some of these cards can bring wrath on some people depending upon the cards around, or if you do reverse meanings, and we'll get into that. Okay, so I just want to take a minute and describe this card because it is the last cardinal virtue to be read in the tarot deck, and we're going to talk about that for a second. Okay, this might, you might imagine that this card illustrates temperance. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but the biggest takeaway from this is that we must have a balanced life and not get involved with anything that we know can make us, well, anxious, manic, have anxiety, and that's hard to do sometimes. But this isn't the only card in the tarot deck that tells us that we require balance. Now, what are those cardinal virtue cards? Well, this is the last one. We also have, so there are three, which is also the Trinity. And what are cardinal virtues? The cardinal virtues in the tarot are the cards that basically, based on ancient philosophy and Christian theology, tell us that these are the attributes and things that we should employ and just bring into our lives every day as we go about our journey. It is the Justice card, making sure, and you see there's balance in that card as well. And you can go back and check out the Great 78 on the Justice card. This is a very good card that requires balance. You see this little scales of justice. That means we have to strive to do the right thing daily. The Strength card, well, that speaks for itself. We have to be in a position where we can be strong enough to handle those things. And even in the bad times, even though we're strong, it takes strength in the good times because sometimes good things bring more work upon us, right? I know you know that. And then, of course, this Balance card. So remember, these are the three cardinal virtues. Make a note of that. And know that when you pull these up, that is something, there is a lesson within the lesson. You see here this infinite sign of this Strength card, which, so right now we have these, and it is Justice, Libra, Strength, Leo, and Temperance, Sagittarius. Now let's get back to the meaning of the Temperance card. Just a little extra for you to know today. The main figure in this card is an angel. Yes, you can figure that out just by looking at it. And this can lead to only one interpretation with this particular card. Many of the illustrations in other of the tarot cards have and can have multiple interpretations. This interpretation for this card is being only one, and that is focused. And along with being one of the three cardinal cards or cardinal virtues, it's an undeniably holy card. And you can't shy away from the divine necessity of the temperance or being in a balanced position. The breastplate, you see this breastplate here. This breastplate and this angel is a reiteration of this crown of the Justice card. See this? You see the crown of the Justice card, which is also cardinal. It illustrates a triangle within a square. So this is the Trinity, while in the square is the compass. So together, this all reveals the harmony between spiritual and the material world. That's the balance. And above the breastplate is the Hebrew. That's the Hebrew. You see this right there? And I'm not so sure how to pronounce tetragrammaton. I think that's right. Forgive me for not being very well versed on that. But what does that mean? That is the unspeakable name of God. So you see, this is a very holy card. I love this. Now, there's something, this is kind of an action. There's a lot of action going on in this card. And it's undeniable that you can definitely see the mixing of the two cups. And basically, like the breastplate, this is the union between two extremes. So this card can say you're going from one extreme to another. And in line with this Temperance card, the significance isn't that one cup. I'm going to talk about these feet later. About one cup is not more full or fuller than the other. Both cups need each other, and that is balance. It's amazing, isn't it? So let's get down to this pond. The pond at the bottom of the card, you can see it is blue water. Now, the pond. At the bottom of this card is the pond. And you see there's blue water. It's just so inviting and so calm and so beautiful. Now, this blue pond, and you're going to see blue water throughout the whole entire tarot deck. The source of that blue water is from the robe of the high priestess. So just remember this. This river originates from her, and it basically symbolizes that there is a river of the subconscious. So your subconscious mind is in play throughout our journey in life and throughout the tarot deck. And that's one of the things we need to remember with. See, isn't this interesting? So many attributes. The angel's feet. Now we're talking about feet, right? The angel's feet. One is on water and one is on land. So this card reveals, and the feet reveal, that the ideal of temperance is equilibrium between opposites. So just because you have an opposite situation or circumstance, there has to be an equal balance. Just remember, this card is focused, and it basically remains equal throughout all of these different elements and everything else that's going on. Now, here's an interesting thing. You see this path on the left-hand side of this card. This is a long path toward the mountain. And you know, looking at this far away, you think, oh, well, some people may even think the sun is coming up and so forth. But this is a crown. And the angel is in a state of rest. And this suggests that this is temporary. This path is to enlightenment, but it isn't over yet. It ain't over. We still have a long way to go. And so you can take rest here, get your act together, get balanced, know exactly what you're dealing with, and basically get ready because you're going to continue your journey. So this is kind of that card where it's a rest stop. That's really what it is. You're recharging your batteries, so to speak. So this long path is a reminder and an encouragement that you have to submit that, well, your goal is in sight. That crown means the goal. Now, we're going to talk about the sun and the halo, and we're going to talk about all this because there's a lot of here things going on in this card. Behind the angel's head is the halo, and the halo is repeated in the setting sun on the top of the mountain. Now, there is a sun there, but there's also a crown in there too. Now, the sun on top of the mountain, or the halo, or the sun, does not stress that there is not only the holiness of the temperance, because remember, this is a cardinal virtue card. It is a repetition on the mountain that reveals that this is the destination. This is your goal. So this halo on the mountain illustrates the enlightenment at the end of the tarot deck. And this crown is the crowning glory. And remember, can also fit in with this crown of the Justice card, also being a cardinal virtue. Interesting how these all come together, isn't it? So let's talk about the angel wings. Now, they're really beautiful wings outstretched, and the color of fire. This is to illustrate the passion and the dedication and the ideals of this temperance card. The wings are so wide that they extend beyond the frame of the card, meaning that you have no limits and that you're not done yet. You can still go on as far and take this as far as you want to. This is a reminder in the temperance that can be found in other cards as well. It's not just limited to this card. So when you see an illustration going off the frame of the card, it means there's so much more that can be done. And there's just no limits. There's just everything is so great about this card because of the holiness that comes along with it. Okay, so now we come to the upright meanings. Now, you know, I read upright. That's my choice. You can read upright. You can read reversed. Whatever is most comfortable for you. I've just always read upright. And I believe that comes from me being a cartomancy reader, which in a cartomancy deck or the playing card deck, it doesn't really matter unless you specifically mark the cards, and that's a whole other video. But this is the upright meaning. And as you know, the upright meaning is encouraging focus on the balance. And it can mean that sometimes you're at a crossroads. Sometimes you just don't know. There's frantic anxiety and all kinds of crazy things going on in your life. And it means that sometimes you have to proceed with caution because you don't want to get ahead of yourself. And you don't want to invite being frantic. This is a card that basically says keep a cool head, maintain, make sure you got balance because you still got a little ways to go. Your goal is back here, so you still got a little. So enjoy the stop while you can. Take a drink, recharge your batteries, make sure that everything is going on because in your favor, rather, that you've got the balance for the material, the spiritual, and the physical even. And just know that this goes beyond the limits that is you're limitless. So everything is going to work out in your favor. It just means keep a cool head and maintain and focus. Focus on all aspects of your life. Now here comes the reverse meaning. And the reverse, well, you've guessed it. You're in a state of imbalance. And it means that you need to reveal how much or if you are overindulging in certain substances or certain situations, maybe even overeating. That's a good one, right? Sometimes it means that you're focusing all of your energy on one particular thing, circumstance, or situation, and it's a reminder for you to have moderation. So an upside down pyramid is easily toppled. You see that mountain turns into that upside down pyramid. It means to spread out your intention to multiple things in order to have a well-balanced life. So there you are, my darlings, the Temperance card. I love that you're here with me, and stay tuned. We're going to have the Devil is next in the series, so you don't want to miss that. There's this guy right here. I love and enjoy bringing this with you and for you and to you. Please do me a favor and subscribe and like. That helps me a lot. And stay tuned, because here is another video that YouTube knows that you're going to want to see. Take care and thanks a lot. Talk to you soon. Enjoy your readings.